Welcome to the ultimate upper lower program. This is not your usual where I'll give you some tips and some tricks. This is a full bulletproof step-by-step. You can plug and play into your actual life and get insane results super fast. This is everything you need. It's like the secrets, it's all the super sauce. You've got it now. So I'm super excited to give you this. In this video, we're gonna break down the entire training program. We're gonna do the sets, the reps, the best exercises. I'm gonna give you form tips. We're gonna run through it all. This is absolute gold. I wish I was given years ago. I wish I could have just followed and plugged and played this rather than have to figure it out. So without further ado, let's get into this. Now let's firstly run through the entire training plan so you've got a rough idea of your week. Now, if you don't train 5 days a week, don't worry. I'm gonna teach you how to break it down and condense it. Okay, so let's break down the training days here. We have upper 1, lower 1, upper 2, rest day, upper 3, lower 2, and that is the entire week planned out. Now, if you do not want to do 5 days a week, you can simply cut out the last lower day if you want to do 3 uppers and 1 lower, and now you're doing 4 days, or you can cut out the last upper day and that will give you more of a balanced 50-50, depending if you want to work more upper body or lower. So that's a 4-day training plan. Now, if you want to train 3 days, I would just recommend doing upper, lower, upper, and that's it. Really straightforward, and you don't need to rotate through them. You can if you wanted to, but I think it's best to repeat the same sessions every week, focus and overload, and that's what's going to give you the best results. So you can use this for 5 days, 4 days, or 3 days. Who is good to you? I told you this is going to be so good. One last small thing before we go through. I've run through this before. Some of the best training splits are push-pull legs, upper, lower, but the best variations are the ones where you hybrid them and adjust them to suit your weak points or what you need to grow most. So I'm going to explain how I've done this for this training split, and then you'll even be able to customize it and tweak it to ensure you get maximal results. Is that even the right term? I was going to say the slowest time, in the quickest. I'm going to get you the slowest results. That sounds terrible. Look, pretty much it's going to get you the fastest results in the shortest time possible, and I'm going to teach you how to adjust it for you to make sure it's personalized and tailored. So let's kick it. Let's actually kick in this time. First movement on your upper day is a delt movement. We're doing cable line lateral raises, and the reason I put delts first, and I'm going to break down that reason, is because I'm prioritizing shoulders, chest, and biceps for this entire split. They are the points I want to work on the most. We're going to grow everything, but they're my main focus points. So with the cable lateral raise, whenever we're doing this lying down, we're doing this so we have more stability. And if you notice at the bottom of any dumbbell lateral, you never get tension at the bottom. This bottom third, you don't really get any tension because gravity is what gives you the tension. Whereas with a cable, the bottom third of a movement has tension. So this is one of the reasons why we use a cable lateral raise. I'm not saying it's better than a dumbbell. I'm just saying it's got a really important place because we can't train the lengthened portion of the delt. Jesus, can barely speak, without using the cables, okay? Now, let me give you some really good cues that are gonna massively help. Now, with setup, I do like the bench just having like a 1 notch up, but this is fine. You don't even need to have a bench. You could actually just lie on the ground flat, and this would still be just as good. Now, whatever you do this movement, I want you to have either D handles or cuffs, okay? It doesn't make a massive difference which. And as you perform the lateral raise, I always want you thinking about wide. So if we're doing a normal dumbbell lateral, just like if we're doing the cables, I want you to imagine dragging your hands along the ground and then out to the walls. So just like that, but lying back. We're focusing on wide, leading with the elbows throughout the movement. And we should end up with at least the elbow at shoulder height, if not a little bit above. We want to pause at the top, control the negative, and you do want the full range of the lateral raise at the bottom here to get the maximum amount of tension. Now, on this movement, we're going to stick with 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. We want a good bit of volume for the delts here, and we want 2 minutes rest between all sets. We want to make sure we're training as close to failure as possible. You really want to hit this hard and try and bring it the full way. Next up, we're hitting a chest press. We're focused on a convergent incline press. And I want to highlight this machine doesn't massively look like it's on a big incline, but it is. The way that my arm path is going highlights that because I'm driving from a low elbow position to a higher one. This aligns a lot more with the packed fibers of the upper chest, okay? So this is more like an incline press. You could also substitute this in your gym for incline dumbbells, or you could do an incline chest press or an incline Smith press, okay? So the keys here I want to focus on for you is making sure that you've got good foot drive. And one thing you'll notice in this video that I'm actually doing wrong is I'm actually retracting myself way too much. You'll notice my ribs flaring. You want to actually just get a comfortable position. The reason that I've done this for me is because I've aggravated my shoulder the last while and I'm trying to just give it a little bit of a cushion. So I'm trying to keep my chest really proud. For you, a small arch is fine. And with your elbow position, the way we want to do it is if this is a flared 90-degree press and this is arms by your side, you're looking at midpoint to a little bit higher. That way it'll align nice to your chest and feel great. All you're looking to do here is have a chest press where your arms are coming slightly across your body, because your elbow coming across your body is what's going to contract your chest. It's as simple as that. This movement is about overload. We're doing 2 sets of 5 to 9 reps with 2 to 3 minutes rest. Absolute gold. Next up, instead of doing 3 sets in that chest press, what I decided to do was 1 set for this entire block on a flat Smith press. I really want to get my numbers up here, but if you don't have the time for that, you can just do 3 sets of the first chest press. It's as simple as that. So with the Smith press, very similar setup. We want to make sure we've got the elbow slightly tucked. We want to make sure we're controlling the negative, pausing just ever so slightly off the chest. And then we want to explode up, controlling it. Now, I want to highlight this. The Smith dumbbells, bench press in particular, these are the ones that usually will tend to aggravate the infamous left shoulder. So be very mindful. And I think one of the most important things is the controlling of the speed of that negative rep. You will very rarely get injured if you control the way down, because you're taking a lot of the tension off the ligaments and the tendons here where you would bounce out. That's what usually gets a lot of the elasticity. So control that negative. Focus on one really hard set here of 7 to 10 reps. I think that's a magic rep range for here. You could do 8 to 12, but I like that lower rep range for my pressing movements. Next up, you're probably thinking, what? More chest movements. What is this? You said about splitting it up, but remember, I'm trying to grow my chest. It's a weak point. So I want you to do 2 sets, 8 to 12 reps of a machine fly. You will notice this has a little bit more of a decline angle on it. It's like a hoist. It feels a bit weird. It looks like a merry-go-round. It looks like something you'd see in a circus. But I want to highlight the key points here is that you want to focus on your elbows together and then your elbows apart. A lot of people end up doing like a crab man where they just touch their hands together. And we really want to focus on elbows together, getting a big squeeze and a big contraction on that chest. And you'll notice I have quite a big arch. You do not have to do this. Just do what is comfortable. Notice how my elbow comes slightly down. It's not flared too wide at the top. You want to protect your shoulders. Do what is comfortable for you. The main thing here though is controlling that negative, making sure you get a big stretch. And how you'll know as well if you're actually getting a big stretch on your chest is your elbow should slightly pass your shoulder. That's how you know you're getting a big stretch. You're gonna really be able to control that. Get pause in the stretch, then power up and squeeze. And that's what will give you the best result in a fly. 2 sets, 8 to 12 reps, 2 minutes rest. And in total, we've done 5 sets for chest workout, which is quite a lot for me. Now we're on the back. We're doing 2 sets of a wide overhand pull down. So you can do a normal lat pull down. I'm just using this machine because I've been using a lat pull down for about 12 years straight. And it's nice for a bit of variety. But the cues and the training still remains the same here. I want you to make sure, number 1, that you lock your knees into the knee pad, okay? This is super important because that is going to give you the stability to pull down from. Next up, whenever you're actually pulling down, a slight lean back is okay. You do not want to lean back too much and turn it into some sort of row Frankenstein. A small lean back and you're aiming to pull to your upper chest. So we think about if you're doing a normal lat pull down, you're not pulling to your nipples, you're pulling to almost your chin, just below it, that tight. That's going to give you a really good contraction in your mid back and your lats, right? That is what we're looking here. I want you to do 2 sets, 6 to 10 reps. And really important thing to protect your shoulders, which a lot of people even get injured in lat pull downs, is at the top, control it, because that is where you're most lengthened and most likely to pick up a niggle. So make sure you control each portion of the rep. Pause at the bottom, and do, if you're using a pull down bar, touch your chest with a bar. That's how you know. As you pull down, you want to focus on getting your elbows into your back pockets, keeping them behind you and really squeezing. Remember, it's all about form, intensity, and overload every single week. Next up, we have an overhand row. All you're looking at is your hands like so, like you're riding a motorbike, and you're rowing back with your elbows flared. So any movement like an overhand row, I have like a prime, overhand cable row, do you know where you're seated? An overhand T-bar row, or you can even do this with dumbbells and an overhand row. You can even do it single arm if you don't have the setup, and you do it overhand one arm dumbbell row. But the key is flaring the elbow wide. And the reason for this is when we keep the elbow tight, we work a lot of the lat. When we flare the elbow wide and row, we retract and protract. Okay, that means our traps are stretching and then contracting, and that's going to make the meaty middle part of your back grow. And all we want here is 2 sets, 6 to 10 reps, 2 minutes rest. The keys here are making sure your chest ideally is supported with something so you can really pull through, driving with the elbows. And a really good tip on all back movements is I find either using lifting straps or keep your thumbs on the same side as your fingers. I notice this takes a lot of my biceps and my forearms out and really allows me to focus on working the back. And lastly, we have overhead cable extensions. Now you can do these upright, standing fully, or you can bend forward like me in this video. I'm not getting saucy with the cable. It's just sometimes you will notice people get their elbows a bit beat up from this movement. So the key here is finding what's comfortable for you. I find that leaning forward and putting one hand on my actual elbow pit, if that's the right term in here, it allows me to get that extra bit of stability, even squeeze, because when you squeeze, it gives you that extra bit of support, and I can really focus on that overhead extension. Remember, we're really stretching the triceps, so the most important thing here is controlling the negative, pausing at the bottom. This will save your elbow joint that absolutely kills a lot of people. And then we want to extend and squeeze hard. A lot of people will do this dual arm with a rope. I find doing this single arm with a handle, as long as it's got that, you know, that Velcro part, so good. You could also do single arm with a rope, works really well, or even just the cable or the cuff. But an overhead extension is an absolute game changer for blowing up your triceps. Now, I only do, you won't believe this, 1 set of triceps here for 8 to 12 reps. For you, if you want to grow your arms, I'm just looking to keep my triceps the same size. You want to do 3 sets of 8 to 12. That will give you enough volume on your triceps as well, okay? That is the entire upper day done, and you're going, but where's biceps? Don't you worry. Biceps are completely taken care of. I'm going to show you where on the lower day, which is where the real goal comes in now. The only thing you might want to change in this training plan is the order in which you hit what movements to prioritize. That's how you would customize it to you. Also, if chest isn't your biggest priority, you might want to just do the 1 chest press, or take the 1 set of Smith press and put it into your chest press. That's it. Super simple, straightforward. That is a plug and play workout for you. That is an insane upper day. Don't worry, biceps, legs is coming. You're gonna love this lower day. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. Big love. Whoa.